Hey guys, I'm Julian at Digital Nomad Latin America. This is the second video of this YouTube channel, and in this video, I'm gonna go over what documents you need to apply for Paraguayan permanent residency. So this is gonna be a preparation part before your departure. For the convenience, we're gonna use this iPad to explore the official Paraguayan immigration website. So let's go there. The address is migraciones.government.paraguay, migraciones.gov.py. I'm going to provide a link of this official website and the below description section of this video. Or instead, you can Google this website, Paraguay official immigration website. Then this website will show up on Google. Then you can go there, and everything will be written in Spanish. But I'm gonna assume that you don't speak Spanish at all. If you do speak, that's definitely better. But let's say you don't speak Spanish at all, and let's translate the whole website using the feature offered by this website. You can see Google translation, and we can translate them into English. I would recommend you to translate them into English. It also offers Arabic, Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Russian. But let's say, for example, in my case, if I translate them into Korean, it's gonna be not as readable as English. So we're gonna translate the Spanish, this Spanish website into English. If you see the first paragraph, it's gonna explain the special process. It's gonna mention the special process because of the current coronavirus situation. We're gonna come back to this paragraph after reviewing all these necessary documents, required documents. So the first document you need is a valid identity document, which is gonna be your passport. So obvious, we're just there will be no problem of understanding this. The second document you need is consular visa or on arrival. It means that on arrival visa, if you are an American, you'll need an arrival visa. As a Korean passport holder, I don't need a visa to enter Paraguay. We have a visa waiver treaty. So I have visa-free access to Paraguay, so I don't need a visa. But the thing is, when I searched for information in Korean, all the information said that I need a visa to transfer my status from the ordinary non-resident to a permanent resident status. So I can't go through that process from a visa waiver status. That's what a Korean source of information says. So I'll need to get a visa either by the Korean Paraguayan consulate in Korea or in Argentina in Clorinda, which is next to Asuncion, the capital of Paraguay. We're gonna go there to apply for Paraguayan permanent residency. The Argentine city Clorinda is next to the Asuncion. It's gonna take less than 1 hour by car. I'll probably take bus if I need to, but I don't know how it will take, how long it will take by bus. Let's go back. In the contrary, the English source of information says that I can only apply for permanent residency as a visa-free status, but not a business nor tourist visa status. So they'll need a special process, not the visa waivers need special process, but those who acquired visa, who got visas through the Paraguayan consulate in their countries or anywhere else. So I'm confused about this part. But then the next part says, that see the list of countries with visa suppression agreements, visa-free agreements with Paraguay, and the list of beneficiary countries for visas on arrival in Paraguay. It implies that if you are from a country that doesn't need an entry visa, you'll be fine. That's what I understood from this explanation. But because all the Korean source of information says that I'll need a visa and I'll need to go to Florinda, Argentina, to get a visa and come back to Paraguay Asuncion to apply for a Paraguayan permanent residency. We'll need to see what is really true. I could also apply for a visa before going to Paraguay, but I'd rather check if that is the case once I arrive in Paraguay, because I do have an option for applying for a visa in Argentina, just the next city. The third document is birth certificate. In Korean, it's gonna be 출생 증명서. So you'll need, according to the information from the Korean source, I'll need 기본 증명서, and the Korean consulate in Paraguay, Asuncion, will translate them into Spanish, and they will also offer apostille. That's the same for the fourth document, valid police or criminal background certificate. It never mentioned when. How long this document is valid for applying for Paraguayan permanent residency, but it would be definitely recommendable to get this document, the latest document. This is going to be translated into Spanish in the Korean consulate in Paraguay, and they will offer apostille. And if you have resided in Paraguay for more than 5 years, you can check out this explanation, but I don't think that you would be the case. But if you resided in another country during the last 5 years, you'll also need a criminal certificate for that country. And the fifth document is current background certificate for foreigners issued by the computer department of the National Police of Paraguay. Computer department, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure if the translation is correct, but let's see. It's gonna be criminal, your background check in Paraguay, and if you've never visited Paraguay or if you're just a tourist, you'll have no problem. You'll need to get this from the nearby police station, and the Korean source of information explained that you'll need to get the address, the verification of your address by two neighbors who have a cedula, the ID card of Paraguay. So you'll need to be verified by your two neighbors who have a Paraguayan ID card. That's what's explained in the Korean source of information, but it's not explained here. So I'm just gonna mention here, and we'll see if that is correct. The sixth document you need is Certificate of Civil Status issued by the competent authority of the issuing country. Option 1, marriage certificate. Option 2, divorce decree. Option 3, death certificate. So it's basically about marriage certificate. In Korean, it's going to be 혼인증명서. It will be easy to get. Much easier to get than a criminal certificate. If you're from the United States, you'll need an FBI background check. In Korea, it's easy, but it's going to be easier than in many other countries. The seventh document you need is a valid life and residence certificate issued by a jurisdictional police station in Paraguay. Maybe this could be the valid address check. We'll see. In Asunción, in Paraguay. And health certificate. The eighth document you need is health certificate issued by a clinical doctor authorized by the Paraguayan Ministry of Health, stating that the applicant is in good physical and mental health and has no infectious, contagious disease. The document must be endorsed by the Ministry of Health of Paraguay. So it's gonna be done in Ministerio de Salud in Asunción, and they will check like AIDS or your heart health, your cardiovascular health, your weight, your psychological, mental health, etc. You'll just go there and you get the document. The ninth document you need is a notary in Paraguay, which expressly states respect and comply with the mandates of the national constitution, the laws, decrees, and other legal provisions that govern the territory of the Republic of Paraguay. So it's gonna be like a You need to declare you're gonna respect the country. And we'll get this document as well in Paraguay. And the 10th document you need is demonstration of economic solvency. In the previous video, I mentioned that all you need to do is just putting $5,000, the US dollars, in the Paraguayan bank. They offer many different options for proving the economic solvency. But obviously, the easiest way to prove this is gonna be putting $5,000 in the Paraguayan bank, and it is explained. It is described by a bank deposit note with a minimum amount of 350 wages or its equivalent. I mean, it's declared in Guarani, the Paraguayan currency, but it also explains its equivalent in dollars, signed by the person or persons responsible for the account. The money deposited will remain in the applicant's account until the completion of the process. Once the registration card has been issued, the deposit may be withdrawn in its entirety. So you can withdraw once the process is all done, all finished. So it's your money, and the amount of period is not too long, so you're never gonna be get any disadvantages by putting those amounts in the bank. The bank deposit must be made in the National Development Bank, an entity that admits this type of procedure for foreigners in the process of obtaining permanent registration and the Paraguayan identity card. The bank is also mentioned here, which bank you should go. We'll make a video for that and you'll have no problem finding that bank. So let's go back to the 10th document, the demonstration of economic solvency. And the 11th document, the last document you need, is valid Interpol certificate of background issued by the Interpol Department of the Paraguayan National Police. So you need to go to Interpol in Paraguay, Asunción. We'll go there. And there are some additional requirements for applicants under the age of 18, but we're going to assume that you're not the age of 18. You're an adult. You're not a minor. If you have a minor, please look into this additional requirement. So basically, the documents you need to prepare before the departure is going to be your passport, birth certificate, criminal background certificate in your country, and marriage certificate, that's all. And everything else will be prepared in Paraguay. Oh, if you're from some countries that use rare language, unique languages, you'll probably want to prepare the translated version of your documents in your country. I'm not sure which language would be, but Korean, as for Korean, there are many translation services offered in Asuncion, according to my research. And the Korean source of information also explains that most people use Seoul tourism company, Seoul 여행사. They offer service for translating Korean passport into Spanish, and they will also notarize this document. But if you are from a country that speaks a unique language, rare language, then you might want to check out in advance if there are translation services in Asuncion or Paraguay, and if not, you want to do that before the departure. So we went through this all documents you need, and lastly, we'll go back to the coronavirus thing, the special process. It explains that paragraph res for foreign citizens who are outside the national territory and are affected by the closure of borders due to the state of health emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The DGM makes available to them the possibility of starting their registration process under the modality of legal representation, regulated by DGM blah blah blah, dated 2020 June 30th. So basically, almost all countries would have been affected by this coronavirus situation, and they would have not been able to apply for Paraguayan permanent residency in person in Paraguay. So let's follow this link. It's loading. So slow. But I much prefer this Paraguayan immigration website than Panamanian immigration website. It's much cleaner and much more concise, more human friendly. You can check that website out as well. Oh, so we arrived this page, and it reads that applicants can apply directly to the change of category from non-resident to permanent resident through this type of filing without having to have a previous filing in Paraguay. By obtaining the permanent residence card, foreigners will be able to process the Paraguayan identity card before the blah blah blah. The first document it mentions is special power of attorney for immigration procedures, visa and legalized or apostilled by the competent authorities. And the second document is a registration of lawyer and or manager accredited before the General Directorate of Migration, by which the implementation of the registration of managers and the base is authorized of data of the Registry of Managers of the General Directorate of Migrations, which means that you'll need someone who is registered in the Paraguayan this system, and you'll need a lawyer. But the thing is, important, the start of the procedure for the opening of the permanent settlement file for foreign citizens for outside the national territory is carried out through a legal representative in Paraguay. Once the interested party enters the country, they have a period of 10 business days to attach the following documents to the file. And observations. The application for filing will be processed once all the documents have been regularized by the applicant after entering the country. So based on the information described here, the process will not begin at all unless you enter Paraguay and start the process. So to me, it seems that there's really no difference for the speed or convenience. Maybe it may be more convenient because you're gonna hire a lawyer, but we're trying to get Paraguayan permanent residency on our own. That's the purpose of making this video. And I don't see the reason to hire a lawyer just to submit the application a bit earlier, but doesn't start the process until you get to the Paraguay. So I don't see the reason for doing this. And I'm gonna start this process once the borders open again, when this coronavirus situation is alleviated. So this is the end of this video. We went over the required documents for applying for Paraguayan permanent residency, and I'm gonna make a series of video for how the process is actually going to be, because there are not much information, and there are so much incorrect information or confusing information. So I decided to offer this information by going through the whole process by myself, and you'll see how it's going. If I get a permanent residency permit, you'll see the permit is you'll see the residency is approved, and if I get citizenship in the future, you'll see it's approved, or if I'm rejected, you'll see it's rejected. I'll make the video. I'll show you the whole process. So stay tuned, and thank you so much.